Yeah, hello, good day everyone. My name is Famous. So a few days ago, I did a video on three reasons why you shouldn't study medicine in the Caribbean. Now I know there's gonna be a lot of reaction that about why talking about the Caribbean negatively. Yes, and from that video, I also said that yes, the quality of education there it's also good because I did part of my pre-med there. So now I'm gonna do a follow-up video. This follow-up video now, it's I'm just gonna target one single reason why you should study medicine in the Caribbean. Now I know I talked about three reasons. Now I'm talking about one reason why you should study medicine in the Caribbean. Now, of all my reason I gave, I talked about the Caribbean Medical School giving you hopes on doing your clinical rotations in the US, but there's something I didn't really elaborate very well. You know, one thing I like with the Caribbean school, no matter how expensive it is, you get one singular thing I will always like about that place is that they prepare you solely for step one. That is either you want to take step one, you want to practice in the US or Canada. You know, Canada have their own streams of exam, the MCCQE1 and MCCQE2. But one thing I like about this the Caribbean Medical School is from the get go, their focus is step one or MCCQE1. So their focus, their curriculum is designed for you to take the professional exam in the US and the UK. Sorry, in the US and Canada. Now, other medical schools in the world, I don't think they have such. I don't think their curriculum is designed that way. Like here in the Philippines, you know, they, nobody talks more about step one, so they just teach you the basics. Then it is less for you as a student to prepare for your step one. But uh, one thing the Caribbean school has edge over other is that uh, it prepares you solely. So you know there's this even NBMEs for you to pass, for you to take, you know, mostly students in the US, for you to sit for your steps, you need to do the shelf and the NBME. So like for the Caribbean school, you have to pass your NBME. You have to pass it. If you pass your NBME, because mostly NBME is just an indication of how well you will do in your step one. Now, most schools outside the Caribbean, they are not aware of these NBMEs and all that stuff because their institute does not have a prepared plan on how students can actually pass the step one. That's why most Caribbean students will always do better in step one and a Canada medical exam than student outside the Caribbean. Yes, because the reason, you know, one thing about the Caribbean, most students in the Caribbean, mostly, despite the fact that some Nigerians and some Indians and some other foreigners also come to the Caribbean, but most students studying in the Caribbean are mostly American students, maybe that couldn't that couldn't get into a medical school, or Canadian students that couldn't get into medical school. So most of them there are those students from those countries. So you know, most of there was just okay. Instead of me waiting to pass to get into American medical school or Canadian medical school because of its competitiveness, why don't I go to the Caribbean? Because after all, it's the steps that distinguish us. Yes, it's just a matter of passing the steps, and as long as the school is recognized, is in the world medical directory, why not? So you also discovered that most of those Caribbean medical school, they even have even better specialty. They have, sorry, like, should I say better? Yes, competitive specialty than even some student that actually studied in the US. Yes, there are some Caribbean students that couldn't get admission into US or Canada. They got into a Canadian They got into Caribbean Medical School and they did very well. And during their step, they took their step and they did very well. And most of them, they were able to match for the surgery specialty. So that's what I'm trying to say here is, though the Caribbean Medical School is expensive, yes, no doubt, it's very expensive, and the cost of living there is expensive. But the basic question is, how bad do you want it? How bad do you want to be a medical doctor? That's the question left for you as the applicant to answer. If you really want it, how bad do you really want to be a medical doctor, or how bad do you want to really practice in the US or Canada? So that's the major question, and those questions is left for the applicant to answer. So the issue of Caribbean Medical School is expensive. The cost of living there is expensive, and all that. I don't think it outweighs the benefits that the Caribbean Medical School could offer, because, like as I said earlier, they prepare you solely for the US board exams. They prepare you for step 1, all their curriculum, even the MBMEs. You have to take it and you have to pass for you to take the step 1. You have to take it and pass for you to take the step 1. All the materials, first aid, patoma, every materials you need, the school provides it for you. So that's one thing that the Caribbean Medical School, that's one thing that keeps the Caribbean Medical School ahead of other medical schools in the world. Now, when I mean in the world, not I'm talking in respect to step 1. I'm talking in respect to step 1. So the Caribbean Medical School are far ahead of others. Far ahead, meaning doesn't mean that others don't take don't give you the right material. But what I mean here, in terms of preparing you for the US board exam and the Canadian board exam, I mostly Caribbean Medical School are far ahead of others, and they prepare you solely for that. So that's just my singular reason why I think going to the Caribbean or studying medicine in the Caribbean is a right investment to do. If you think you can afford it and you think that's what you really want, why not? Why not? Don't allow anything stop you. So this is my take on one reason why studying medicine in the Caribbean is not a waste. So I hope I've been able to convince you and it makes sense. So other videos will be coming. I did a video on 3 reasons why you shouldn't study in the Caribbean. So you just check the description, you check it out. Then I'll be doing more videos on useful tips. So you can like this channel, you subscribe, and just leave a comment down. All right, thank you.